Hey everybody, it's Curtis back with the Kurt Locker. Today I'm talking about the Strongman Throwdown at Home Gym Con, and this is the latest and greatest update. I'm recording this on the 15th of March, and I'm really excited to show all of you potential competitors, signed up competitors, and those of you that really you should probably give it a shot because Strongman is probably one of the most underrated strength sports out there, and this is your opportunity to at Home Gym Con for the potential for cash awards. Talking is hard today. So what we have up on the screen right now is the Iron Podium. I reference the Iron Podium pretty frequently, so if you're kind of new to the sport of Strongman, Iron Podium is a central location for the two major federations in the United States, North American Strongman, otherwise known as Strongman Corp, as well as United States Strongman. And this is a United States Strongman sanctioned show. Iron Podium is the host for the scoreboard, as well as the registration. I just want to run through it real quick. So right up at the top, we can see the most significant update right now is actually that it is presented by Bear Steel Equipment. And I got to say a big thank you to Bear Steel Equipment for stepping up and being a presenting sponsor. I also want to highlight right at the beginning of the show, Black Widow training gear, JD Gym Equipped, Freedom Strength Co., and Weighed It Out, all of which have very generously, and I mean very generously, I'm in an amazing spot as far as a meet director goes. I don't think there's many people that are in the position I'm in where I can have this kind of a relationship with people to have this level of equipment. So this is a 2-day competition, and like I said, presented by Bear Steel Equipment, United States Strongman sanctioned event, which means that you do need to have an athlete membership in order to compete. Athlete memberships are relatively inexpensive, and you can actually purchase them on Iron Podium if you're not already a member. Now, like I said, 2-day competition. I want to make sure I'm very clear on this. We push this to being a 2-day competition so that people have more of an opportunity to actually go and walk through the convention center, as well as giving more people the opportunity to actually watch the Strongman competition. Last year, when we had the Strongman competition, we started early in the morning and we finished relatively late. That was due to some inefficiencies on my part as the meet director, as well as some of the events just being events that take a long time to do. So what we've done is we've broken it up to where events 1 through 3 will be done on day 1, which will be on the Friday, and events 4 and 5 will be done on the second day. Again, that's June 27th and 28th. If there's any tiebreakers required for the podium, we will do those after the final event. Now, there are cash prizes. A minimum of $2,500 is on the line. That's going to be a little bit more reserved this year. Last year, if you got a podium, you got a cash prize. This year, it's likely just going to be first place. As soon as I have a little bit more resolution on who all will be getting cash prizes, I'll be sure to make another update. The other big news is that this is going to be a benefit for the EOD Warrior Foundation. The EOD Warrior Foundation is a 501c3 charter. What they do is they help out with explosive ordnance disposal families and explosive ordnance disposal members. Personally, I have seen some very, very close friends of mine benefit from the use of this charity. They do amazing work. A significant sum of every dollar also goes straight to that charity. And we will have the opportunity, if people want to donate, $1, $5, whatever they want to give, all of that stuff is going straight to the EOD Warrior Foundation. Weigh-ins will take place on the morning of the 27th. And if you were there last year, you'll remember that I essentially was available for weigh-ins all day on the day before the competition. And that's probably going to be about what it is this time as well. So on the 26th, I'll be in and out of the convention center a little bit, but the weigh-ins will be all day on the 26th. And then on the morning of the 27th, before we start, I don't have a start time yet, but it will likely coincide with the opening of the doors for Home Gym Con itself. If you have to do a weight cut, I have been working with a couple local companies in the community, and they will have IV rehydration available for purchase at a discounted rate for all of the athletes there. Now, spectators do have to buy tickets. I have the Home Gym Con link right there. And additionally, coupon code KL10 will save you 10% on your tickets. If you have family that are coming in, if people are under the age of 14, they get in for free anyways. If you're over the age of 14, we do got to charge a ticket price to get into the convention center. But again, you save 10% using code KL10. The other cool part about using coupon code KL10 is that that money essentially just gets funneled straight back into the strongman competition. So it helps me help you guys have an amazing day. If you are an athlete, when you sign up, it says right here, you do not need to buy a ticket. Now, if you're an athlete and you have purchased a ticket, reach out to me via email as far as working to get that refunded or somehow get your money back. If you are an attendee, again, last time I'm going to say it, if you're an attendee over the age of 14, you do need to go buy a ticket. If you want to get in for both days of competition, you have to buy the 2-day pass. Additionally, if you want to go and just get like the premium Home Gym Con experience, which I do recommend, I'll be there at the premium events. A coupon code KL10 does work on those as well. Now it rolls us straight into event number 1, Viking Press. Now the Viking Press is sponsored by Black Widow Training Gear and Wait It Out. Huge thanks to Dean and Brian as the heads of those companies. They are providing everything that we need. This will be a head-to-head style Viking Press. You will do a maximum number of reps in a 60-second time limit. The only thing that we're going to be doing for this is you will not be able to double dip. If anybody remembers the famous Eddie Hall versus Hafthor Bjornsson feud, that's part of where that came from. If you jerk the movement overhead, you'll probably get a single warning, and then after that, those reps won't count. But yeah, all the rules are right there. I'm not going to bore everybody with all the rules, but that is going to be event number 1, and I have gone and I have definitely tried to make it as clear as possible. Event number 2 is going to be the deadlift. This is sponsored by Bear Steel Equipment and Wait It Out. So again, huge thank you to Sean and Brian, owners of those companies, for sponsoring these events. The way that the deadlift ladder is going to work is you're going to start about 5 feet before the first bar. You're going to go up to the first bar when we say go. You're going to perform a single lift on a Bear Steel Equipment Reaper deadlift bar. After that, you will go over, after you get the down command from the judge, you'll move to the second Reaper deadlift bar, which will be loaded with a slightly heavier weight, and again, perform a single deadlift. After you get the down command, move to the third bar, which will be the new Bear Steel Equipment axle bar. And you will do as many reps as you can with the time that you have remaining, a total of 60 seconds. You may not bypass any weights. You can't skip the first one to get to the second one. You can't skip the second one to get to the third one. You do them in order, and we're going to grade it by number of repetitions performed. For this, we're going to allow straps, of course. This is Strongman. Deadlift suits are fine. But the only thing we're not going to have is like tacky, that kind of thing. So that brings us to event number 3. Now, event number 3 is the reason I'm making this video today, the main reason at least, because all of the events have been announced with an exception for event number 3, which is going to be a Hercules Hold. Now, before we get into the rules, I am going to show you guys the Hercules Hold implement that we are going to be using. This event is sponsored by JD Gym Equipped, and I am very, very excited for this event. So this is the implement that we will be using. This is the render. JD Gym Equipped designed this from scratch. We designed it to be safe. Safety was a huge part of this. Again, I don't want anything coming in on an athlete. So you will essentially stand on this platform. This is going to be just a single event, not a head-to-head like everything else. And you will hold it for maximum time possible. When I get the implement in and I'm able to test the implement, that is when I'll be able to announce weights. But until it gets in, just train that grip. It's going to be a 1.5-inch handle, which is going to be a challenge for some. So let's just make sure that we're using those fat grips. Go to JD Gym Equipped if possible, because the level of quality that he's able to produce is absolutely outstanding. And he stepped up last second to sponsor this event. Massive thank you to JD Gym Equipped. That brings us up to event number 4, which is going to be the Conan's wheel. Now, the Conan's wheel and the Viking Press are going to use the same bases, more than likely. These are going to be made by Dean over at Black Widow Training Gear, and you will stand facing away from the actual hinge. So you're going to face away from the load, and you will grab the handles. You get 75 seconds total, and you're going to press. All right, so the next one is the Conan's wheel. The Conan's wheel is going to use the same implement base as the Viking Press, and I'm really excited for this. Essentially, we're going to be carrying the Conan's wheel for as long as you can for the max distance possible in the 75-second time limit. I did consider just having this to be max distance possible, but for the sake of time and trying to make sure that we don't have a competition that goes 12 hours, I decided to put a 75-second time limit. This is based off of experience, both as a competitor and as a meet director, watching this happen. And most people aren't still working past 75 seconds anyways. And if they are, they're doing like one tiny step at a time. And so what I'm doing is I'm cutting it off at 75 seconds. There is a 5-foot grace period that will be marked for the athlete at the start of the lift. Essentially, you're going to pick it up and you're going to walk into a circle. Now, this will be a head-to-head style event. That means that there will be 2 lanes happening simultaneous. And again, that's the same as all of these events with an exception for the Hercules Hold, which will be a one-at-a-time event. And you're going to go. So if you, within that first 5 feet, if you picked it wrong, just drop it within the first 5 feet. And your time will continue, but you're able to readjust. The only thing is you can't put it up on your shoulders and you can't place it on a shelf. You can't be tucking your elbows. A lot of these rules are there just because some people get a little bit gamified with the rules. But yeah, they're pretty clear. Just like the Viking Press, you'll be able to pick your pick height before we actually begin the entire thing. So that is the Conan's wheel. You're going to go as far as you can in 75 seconds. If you're still carrying at 75 seconds, the judge will put their foot down where you were at the 75-second mark, and then we will measure that distance. Max distance wins. So there's something to be said here for maintaining some momentum. Event number 5 is going to be the Sandbag Loading Steeplechase. That is sponsored by Freedom Strength Co. Freedom Strength Co. actually sponsored this competition last year as well for a bag over bar, and they were more than happy to step in and sponsor it again. So huge thank you to JB. Much appreciated that you're stepping up. Now this is going to be 2 lanes at a time, and you're going to be loading over a bar. The actual metrics of that bar, so like the height of it, will be released at a later date when I have equipment in hand in order to actually tell you what it's going to be. But essentially, you're going to start with your hands off the sandbags, but you can be over the sandbags. You can even orient them however you want before the event begins. When the judge say go, both lanes will go at the same time. You have to load all the bags in order from the lightest to the heaviest. So the lightest bag, you'll pick it up, you'll be standing over it. You're going to run over to the bar, throw it over the bar, or put it on the platform, run back to the second bag, etc., until all the bags are loaded. There is a 60-second time limit for this, but based on the bag weights, I think everybody's going to be doing pretty good. And again, any equipment that's in there is up to you guys to go and check out. So with that, I wanted to just kind of re-summarize. Huge thank you. So with that, I just wanted to kind of re-summarize. The Throwdown at Home Gym Con would literally not be possible without these sponsors. So Weighted Out is providing all of the weight plates. They will also be for sale following the event. I am working to try to get those for sale on the Home Gym Con website so that post-competition you can take home your weight plates. Right now, the plan is to have 4 different colors. We're going to have all the colors that are in the poster. So we're going to have kind of that gray, which is their clear coat, the red, the black, and then the white. Those are the colors we're looking to have. I'm trying to make it cool. And that way you can also see what those weighted out plates are all about. These are cast iron plates made in the USA. Super excited for Weighted Out. Bare Steel Equipment is both an event sponsor and the presenting sponsor. More information on them and their presenting sponsor role will come at a later date. They're sponsoring the deadlift event as well with barbells and their new axle bars from York. That is a knurled axle bar. You can check it out at Bare Steel Equipment. Additionally, code KL10 will save you 10% at Bare Steel Equipment. After that, we have Freedom Strength Co. And Freedom Strength Co. makes some of the best sandbags that are out there. They are equivalent, and I mean quite literally equivalent to other brands. Coupon code KL10 also works at Freedom Strength Co. And they are providing all the sandbags for this. So again, cannot thank them enough. JD Gym Equipped is down here as well. And JD Gym Equipped doing that Hercules hold. Massive thank you. JD Gym Equipped has some of the most precision and beautiful attachment pieces that are out there. I know that for myself personally, I really like their push down bar. I think it has a lot of capability. If you've never heard of JD Gym Equipped, go check them out. Use the link right here as well. And then for whatever reason, I'm discovering this as I'm recording the video, Black Widow training gear is, for some reason, their logo did not take on my Iron Podium update. So I will be adding that in as soon as I conclude recording this video. Black Widow training gear also helped out with the competition last year. They supplied a circus dumbbell for the overhead event, the overhead medley. And this year they are stepping up and they are making some amazing stuff. I can't thank Dean enough. He was also he won 2 awards at Home Gym Con last year. And one of those awards was the Strength Sports Supporter, or the competition supporting. He won that, and that was fair and square because he did more than any other company out there to support the meet directors at Home Gym Con. All right, so registration is going to close on June 19th. I will also be adding in when the t-shirt order is going to be placed inside of Iron Podium, so look for that update. Currently, I am re-shopping for t-shirt vendors. We're limiting this to 100 athletes. There's 81 spots remaining. I do understand that there is also a nationals taking place on this day, and I am just grateful that we're still able to affiliate with United States Strongman despite that fact. So that's been it for this video. I do truly appreciate each and every single one of you that watch these updates, watch these videos. And again, this is an amazing opportunity. There are so many ways that you can get involved, whether you are a novice lifter, an open lifter, meaning are you new to strongman or you've been around strongman for a while. I also opened up master's class, so if you are over the age of 40, you can sign up for master's class. So get in there, and it costs just a little bit more than a Home Gym Con ticket. So if you wanted to go to Home Gym Con, just jump an Iron Podium, sign up for a registration, and compete as well as attend Home Gym Con. I promise you won't regret it. That's been it for this video, though. I appreciate you guys that watch, and I will see you with the next update.